Shawn, I think that is a great segue into the political process because you yourself, as a high schooler, are directly involved in a bill that is before the California State Legislature. Tell us more about that.
Correct. Yeah. So that's going to be Assembly Bill 984. It's proposed by Assemblyman McCarty, kind of trying to build a curriculum that would require high school students to take one semester of a 5-credit personal finance course. And this would be a mandatory course that would be required for graduation. It has not been signed yet. They're working on creating a formal kind of policy as to what content would be introduced, what exactly would be the skills that would be tangibly brought to the students. So right now it's just in the forming kind of process, and then it has to be approved by the assembly itself. But I think that bipartisan support, which there is on this bill, is major, and I think it can definitely have a great impact going forward.
Shawn, when will we find out if the bill passes or not? How close is it?
It's looking like about a year out, a year to 2 years out. I mean, it's going to take some time. And if this bill were to be passed, it would not be implemented in public schools until 2028, because there are a lot of policies that you have to look at with the educational institution, and there would have to be another class being dropped for this bill to be passed, because of course you can't tack on another 5 credits for a graduation requirement. They'd have to pull something else out. So these are all kind of topics that are being discussed right now, and they're trying to work something out into how this can be incorporated. Right now, Introduction to Computer Technologies is looking like the course that would be replaced by personal finance, because most people already know how to use a phone, or they already know how to use Google Documents, etc. So it's looking like this has the great possibility of being a formal bill passed within the next year to 2 years. And if it were to be passed, once this bill's contents are made, everything is put together, 2028 would be the first year where students would walk in and they'd be taking a personal finance course at their local high school.
And Shawn, if this bill were to pass, how would California compare to other states in the union with respect to mandatory high school financial education?
That's a great question. I think it would definitely make California a more established kind of student body. And what I mean by that exactly is, if you look at states like Florida and some of the more kind of East or Midwest states that have mandated a personal finance course, they are already reporting students saying that, hey, these courses already made a difference. I used XYZ topics in college, but now I have a leg up compared to everybody else that's not being taught these same skills. So if you look at kind of what's happening and how California is behind, I would say that California is not getting the benefit that some of these mandated states are, because we're not being taught that same curriculum. So unless you actually go out of your way to learn it right now, or you have a group like us come and teach it to you, you're not being given the same knowledge as somebody sitting down in Florida would be. So when they go to college, they'll be saving money left and right, and then you'll be struggling to kind of understand how to even start. So I think that definitely it's going to also bring California up to speed too. And I know that it's more of a kind of economically capitalistic, not to be political, kind of bill that's being introduced. But at the same time, if you look at the positive effects that it has for everybody across the board, and like I said, it does not matter what background you come from, personal finance is an absolutely important skill that you need to have. So for the states that, yes, maybe conservative states that have already passed it, there's no doubt that those states definitely have a leg up compared to California right now, where students are not being taught that same content.